We are here with DMURBF. This is Brendan Flasky.
And this is Dane McLean.
We have a special guest with us today. We have Adam Ambrose, a performer, an up-and-coming local legend who is here with us in the studio. Aiden?
Hey, what's up?
Yo, how's it going, man?
Pretty stressful. Got a lot of exams next week, and I have 2 papers due, and I'm doing 2 shows pretty soon, so...
2 shows. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your music. How did you get into the music scene?
Well, I first started when I was listening to when I was first listening to like Jack Johnson, because he's like one of my favorite artists, and I mainly just listened to him when I was like down and depressed with like a lot of things that were going on in my life. And I first picked up a guitar because of him, and then, wasn't the greatest at singing, so I never like really started singing because my dad and my mom were like, no, you should probably not do that. And then I went and saw Ed Sheeran and saw that he did everything by himself, because I always thought I needed a band to be good, and I was just going to be like the guy in the back. And now that I saw him like doing everything with like a loop pedal by himself, I was like, maybe I could try that. And that's kind of how I started. Somewhat.
So when did you say you actually began your music career? What year? What month? Do you remember?
I would say about 3 years ago. I actually started writing, and it was mainly just about like how I was feeling at the time, because I was just getting off like a drug addiction. Had a lot of mental issues, but don't we all,
Yeah.
Yeah. But basically, I just used music as a punching bag, because I really liked using my guitar as like a drum, like Jack does, and Ed as well. So I just would punch all my feelings into the songs, into the words that I was writing down. And at first, I would write songs that were pretty bad. I would like yell, and you're not supposed to do that when you're singing. You're supposed to like have a controlled breath, apparently, or something. And then as the years went on, I got better and better. Learned up to, I think now I can play 5 instruments. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So what instruments can you play?
Guitar, ukulele, bass, a little bit of drums, violin, and harmonica, if that's an instrument, if you count that.
It's absolutely an instrument.
Honestly, I would, totally. I would
Yeah.
definitely count it. So you're most proficient at the guitar, I would
Yeah,
assume?
I don't really know what it's called, the style that I play, but everyone says, what is that movie called? August Rush. I play kind of like that, where I just smack the guitar and hit it and kind of just do whatever I want.
Like a
Interesting.
percussion instrument.
Yeah, I learned that from
Yeah.
like folk. Like, do you guys know Ben Howard?
I'm not familiar, no.
Definitely heard of him, but
He's like, his most recent album, I'm going to be honest, didn't really like it. Kind of thought it was like dull and boring. He has pretty words, but like it wasn't that great. His first 2 albums were where it was at. But yeah, he has like a slow progression and a slow come down, and I don't know. I like always have liked the way that he plays and like the soul in his voice, which is like, I guess, why I like music.
Yeah.
Just like the emotion.
So when you're talking about emotion, like, do you have to like, when you get on stage, do you have to like summon that emotion? Is it always like readily available? How do you tap into that?
It's kind of like acting, almost. Like, it's not fake, but because sometimes when I think about the technique, I think about singing or anything, I kind of mess everything up. Like, there's been times on stage where like a loop will not be in time, and everything will just kind of sound disjointed like a broken car. And that's mainly because I'm thinking too much. I find when I'm more natural and like living in the emotion, the song is better. Like, my favorite thing my dad has ever said is like, the worst songs are the ones that are just based in emotion. Like, they may just be like about sex, about love, but we love them just because they're just like purely human in some ways. So like, I find when I just let go, it's way better. People like that a lot.
Interesting. Is that your main approach to writing music?
Yeah, I just write to express myself and to express emotions that I feel. And I mainly write to just help people. Like, because a lot of things that I talk about, like the stuff that I've released is all just love and like a turmoil I had with a girl. But with like an EP that I'm working on, I have songs that are about my anxiety, about depression, suicide, and I have a couple others about like homelessness. And I remember when I was younger, I would just listen to music to kind of, it was like almost my philosopher in some way. It would teach me my views and teach me how I was feeling when no one else would really give me a shoulder to cry on. It was just there for me.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Speaking of Ben Howard, we actually have him on the library here. We're going to take a break and play some Ben Howard. We'll be back with Adam Ambrose with his music as well in the next few minutes.
I spent my time watching the spaces that have grown between us, and I cut my mind on second best, all the scars that come with the greenness, and I gave my eyes to the boredom. Still the seabed wouldn't let me in, and I tried my best to embrace the darkness in which I swim. Now walking back down this mountain, the strength of a turning tide. Oh, the wind so soft at my skin, yeah, the sun so hot upon my side. Oh, looking out at this happiness I search for between the sheets, or feeling blind to realize all I was searching for was me. Oh, all I was searching for was me. Keep your head up, keep your heart strong. No, 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 no. Keep your mind set, keep your head low. Oh my, my darling, keep your head up, keep your heart strong. No, 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 no. Keep your mind set in your way. Keep your heart strong. And I saw a friend of mine the other day, and he told me that my eyes were gleaming. Oh, I said I'd been away, and he knew, oh, he knew the depths I was meaning, and it felt so good to see his face, all the comfort invested in my soul, or to feel the warmth of his smile when he said, I'm happy to have you home. Oh, I'm happy to have you home. Oh, yeah. Keep your head up, keep your heart strong. No, 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 no. Keep your mind set, keep your head low. Oh my, my darling, keep your head up, keep your heart strong. No, 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 no. Keep your mind set in your ways. Oh, keep your heart strong. 'Cause I'll always remember you the same. Oh, eyes like wildflowers. Oh, the demons that change. May you find happiness there. Like wildflowers, oh, the demons of change.
Okay, and we are back with DMURBF. We have Adam Ambrose Adam Ambrose in the studio with us today. Adam, we just previously discussed about, where he's come from, what his music is about, his influences. Now let's dive into a little bit of more recent events going on in your life. So can you tell us about any projects you've had coming up?
Right now, I have a whole EP that I'm working on. But by projects, do you mean like things that I've released or like things that I have coming out, like videos and stuff, or?
Okay, let's just talk about like future projects you have. Do you have anything in mind?
So right now, I'm trying to work on a music video for one of my songs, "The Good in You," and I'm waiting on a guy in LA who is working with a guy who's written songs for like David Guetta and Chris Brown, and he's like remastering my song, so I'm like waiting for him to finish that so I can finish the video. Fun stuff. So yeah, I'm working on that, and then the next thing I'm working on is finalizing all of the tweaks for the EP, like adding violins in certain songs and adding drums here and there, like normal things for a musician. But it's like being a perfectionist, because once it's out there, so I can't really change it much.
Is that your mentality when you come to music? You just want everything to be right, like you're no half job.
Well, like because of my dad, I'm somewhat realistic. Like I try my best to make it somewhat perfect, but perfect's kind of idealistic. There's no way that's going to happen. Not everyone's going to like your song, so you have to be happy with it on your own. Because like I've released stuff and like noticed certain things, like I'm off key there, or like it's off tempo there. But I've come to notice when I perform is nobody notices because I've made it. I just have to be happy with the product. So it's being realistic and getting it right mixed together. So because if you're so perfect, you can get really, really crazy sometimes. Your self-esteem just goes straight down.
Honestly, I can draw parallels because I dabble in a little bit of art, and I notice like every time I make a misstroke or something like that, and it bugs me, and then I show other people.
Accidents.
Yeah, happy little accidents. Bob Ross.
Man, I started
2018.
Shut up, Bob Ross.
I started painting with my mom because she's like an artist, and she like dived out of it because of like criticisms and all of the bad parts of art, like marketing and all that kind of stuff. But I got her to start painting, and then when I started doing like Bob Ross and all that kind of stuff, it's just like he's just got such a smooth, quiet voice, and he just speaks to your soul like sensually, man. I don't know how to describe it. He's just like his voice is like a god. You just hear it, and you just want to sit back with a tea, with a fire going, and then your like cats are just running around, and you're just like, life's good.
Have you tried emulating Bob Ross's voice when it comes to your music? Has that been an inspiration at all for you?
No, man. But I would emulate like his hairstyle though. But it's like
nice afro going.
Yeah, white boy afro kind of thing.
I can appreciate it too. I like it.
But yeah.
So you came in today and you have your instruments. So I'm going to ask if you're willing to perform for us, if that's something you'd be interested in.
Oh yeah, I can play something. I'll just play a song. I could just play like one of my songs that I have called "Grateful," which is like about my girlfriend right now.
Absolutely, man.
Okay.
Let's get it going.
So,
okay.
Let's figure out where I sit.
So that was not Adam Ambrose, but that was an inspiration of
It was just a segue.
All right, let's see.
for show.
Let's bring this guy real close. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Okay, wait. Can you push this closer to my ear? Just push real hard for a sec. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's cool. All right, just move out of the way real quick because I get kind of I'm just going to close my eyes and do this.
I'll stand up.
Nice. Okay.
Talk so much that my food it goes cold, but it doesn't matter much unless we do this when we're old. You're filling holes that I dig into myself with beautiful flowers trying to fix my health. Easy to follow like my favorite piece of music. My mind and heart grew legs and I begin to lose it. But it's kinda scary that we're moving so fast. And please don't let this be like the past. But darling, you were timeless like my favorite tune. And I just hope that I get to see you soon. And I am grateful that I get you. And I'm excited for what my love is gonna do. What my love is gonna do. What my love is gonna do. And I'll just play that part so I don't take out too much of it. But yeah, if you want to listen to the rest of it, it's on Spotify, Apple Music, anything that you can have music on.
Cool. Nice. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
That was incredible.
Sweet.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. I know it's sometimes hard to probably just get invited onto these shows and just play.
Well, like, I didn't want to play the full thing just because it's like, if they listen to it here, they're not gonna go listen to it. They're just like, oh, I already heard it.
Keep them wanting more.
It's a pretty nice. It's a pretty nice song. Might as well try to listen to the rest of it.
That's just a sneak peek, and you can download it on Spotify.
Well,
YouTube.
I'm still trying to figure out when I want to release it. I was thinking October, and then finals and essays and everything got in the way, and I was just like, okay, I need to push it back until it's ready. So I'm thinking probably after November it's gonna be done. But yeah.
Will that be around the same time you have your EP, Little Green Cabins?
No, that's what I was talking about.
That will be on the EP?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I see. That's the full release that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Like I have singles out of these songs, but 2 of the singles are changing because I just figured out a better way to record them, and I was just like, I'm gonna change it for the EP because like, what's the point? If it's not different, people won't care. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit more about that. Your EP. You recorded the album in British Columbia, correct? At your parents' cabin.
No. So to explain why it's called Little Green Cabins is because I finished all these songs.
Yeah.
Like writing them, composing them out in my cabin that's like right along the Okanagan. Don't really need to know that, but just for context. But basically, like I finished it there, and we have like this weird shack that kind of looks like you would murder somebody in it and leave the body there. But like I used to sit in there because like my parents and family haven't really listened to me recently. Well, they have. This is like at that time. At that time, they hadn't listened to me recently, and I was just kind of expelled over there. So that's where I finished it all. And I don't know. It's got really good acoustics. I like the way that it sounds in there. So I like thought I would pay homage to it. And yeah. And you were talking about like where I recorded it. I recorded here in Calgary all of the songs.
Oh, I see.
But the weird thing about the recording was my neighbor, who I've known my whole life, has recorded Rage Against the Machine.
Wow, that's a big name.
Tegan and Sarah and Jan Arden. And my dad was just like, just go record with him. And I was like, okay. And I walked in, there's a Juno on the wall, and I'm like, okay, all right.
You've come to the right place, yeah. Is that the same? You were telling me before, is he your neighbor?
Yeah, he is.
Wow, what are the chances of that? You live beside a guy who's produced some huge names in music.
Well, there's like, it's just weird to think that they've been out
Yeah.
front, like right beside my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
do you believe in destiny at that point? Like,
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it does come down to luck. Like some people, plus he gives me deals when I go to record. So
Right.
yeah, like I probably have
Definitely
it lucky.
helps. Yeah.
Yeah. Who wouldn't want that kind of connection if you're trying to come up as an artist? That's
Well, man,
That's
connections
incredible.
are like what it is, like what makes you as an artist. It kind of sucks. It doesn't matter how good you are. You can be good and have no one know who you are if you don't have a team behind you, if you don't know how to market.
absolutely.
And like it comes down to who you know. And if you're not willing to just be like jump in front of people and be like, hey, just give me a chance and whatever, and make yourself somewhat look like a fool, because I'm going to be honest with you. I've messaged people I've never talked to in my entire life, and that's the only reason I'm like actually doing all this kind of stuff. And it was terrifying.
Yeah, just putting yourself out there, I could only imagine. And you have to like face rejection, I'd imagine.
Well, I remember talking to this guy who, his name was Ruben. He's actually an artist in Calgary. He's way bigger than I am, way more talented. But I reached out to him and I asked him for some advice, and he told me to expect a lot of no's, but to try every avenue, even if it didn't make sense.
Interesting.
Because, like, it's weird how artists become big. Because, like, my favorite artist, Ed, got big through one open mic that Jamie Foxx did for him, and basically a year before that, he was homeless, and he was homeless while before the open mic itself. So it's just weird how it can be one moment, one video, one song, just the right person listening to it for you to just go straight up, or I don't know, but it's also you got to remember to love it. Because like, you may not be that person, you may not find the right people, but it's at least you tried, right? Like I think that's the point. It's just like you put your passion into it, you took your time, and then you won't have regrets at the end of it.
That's incredibly true. I remember I met you actually at in 2017, reconnected with you at the open mic. I can't remember the event in the Wickham House.
It was like so there was like a weird show that our school was holding out in Wickham, and I just reached out, and I wasn't that good at the time.
No,
to be honest,
you were killing it.
And yeah, you were filming, and then I reached out to you to try to do some videos.
It just happened so unexpectedly, but I recognized you from years ago.
Well, yeah, we played
hockey
together.
Yeah, we go back.
Yeah, and then you did
a little bit of history.
Yeah, you did my first 2 videos, and then we uploaded them. And a couple of the videos that we actually did together got like a couple thousand views on Facebook, which is a weird place for people to actually be like listening and watching.
I feel like those 2 videos. I mean, it was just within the school capacity, but I think we did something that, we showed just your music mainly. Like it wasn't like a visual experience, but I think it helped. At least for me to be able to learn through you a little bit.
Well, like we used what we had and made what we could. And like
looking back on it,
I'm going to be honest, like some of the videos that we have, like I kind of wish that I could still sing like that, cuz like now because of the way I sing, man, like it's hard for me to have that like weird growl that I do in some of my songs.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like music's all any art. It's just about passion. Like you should just, if you're not passionate about something,
don't do it.
Well, okay, there's money and like, living, but like
I'm passionate about money.
Like if you're not passionate about your like 9-to-5 job that's making you able to live, you should still do that. But I don't know. Think about what you want to do for the rest of your life. And like there's some people who choose money and then occasionally doing stuff, and then there's some people who just go straight for their passions. I kind of chose both. And
best of both worlds, man. You've got your degree that will be huge for you if you want to just, have some financial support. And how do you deal with balancing work, your school, your relationship, your music career? How do you
put like an emphasis on
man?
music?
Do you have a crazy looking calendar with just like
most of the time it's crying a lot, but I would say
before the show we were crying a little bit.
Yeah, don't even worry about it.
Yeah, well, it's okay to have a little man cry, but
Probably have one after the show. If anyone's welcome to join.
I guess I'll come. No, but the way that I balance it is putting priority on certain things and then realizing what I am capable of. Like with this on my shoulders, because like I also have family, my girlfriend, all that kind of stuff. It's you have to realize that something is going to give. So you have to put what you're capable of and what you want to achieve and set goals for yourself. And basically for me, I'm like, I'm happy if I get a 70, but I know I'm capable of getting 80s if I want. It's just I have to put in a lot of hours, but if I'm tired from a show or I'm tired from this, like maybe my schoolwork will suffer. Whatever, you know?
Nice. Okay. We have Adam Ambrose, The Good in You. We have an MP3 file of him. We're going to play that right now. Have a listen.
The house I grew up in was paper thin, so I couldn't really hide how I felt. Everyone that took my first spin, and this was the love that I used out. I opened my chest to, well, everyone, 'cause I was bleeding from the inside. I moved away from everyone. This would be my social suicide, 'cause of my love sick attitude, can not say no. I went through Mount Joslin, I was alone. I get so sick of what you put me through. Why do I always find that good in you? 'Cause of my love sick attitude, can not say no. I went through Mount Joslin, I was alone. I get so sick of what you put me through. Why do I always find that good in you? Why do I always, Well, take me down to rehab, I overdose. My love is killing me from coast to coast. She knocked me down, but well, I'm made of stone. Now she won't speak to me over the phone. Because of my love sick attitude, can not say no. Now I went through Mount Joslin, I was alone. I get so sick of what you put me through. Why do I always find that good in you? 'Cause of my love sick attitude, can not say no. Now I went through Mount Joslin, I was alone. I get so sick of what you put me through. Why do I always find that good in you? Oh yeah. Why do I always find that good in you? Why do I well, my tongue is growing tired of all these times, that I said I couldn't live without you on my mind. And you are as beautiful as the day we first met. Your voice is like we're listening to a string quartet. But a man, well, he can make his mistakes. And girl, I am a human for what he says. He said that you love me every waking day. Now that it's over, you've nothing to say. Hey, no. Because of my love sick attitude, can not say no. Now when through my children, I was alone. I get so sick of what you put me through. Why do I always find that good in you? So na 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 na. Why do I always find that good in you? Na 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 na. Why do I always find that good in you?
Okay, that was The Good in You by Adam Ambrose, who is with us in studio right now. Okay, this is part 3 of our interview. After that little tidbit, how does it feel to hear yourself on radio?
Well, I'm so used to it. I'm so used to it by now, but before, honestly, I couldn't sit in the room and it's like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah, just hearing your own voice, right? Because
it's
I feel
just
like a lot
cringy. Honestly, at first you what's the right word? Have you ever heard yourself through a video?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you listen back. You're like, no, shut it off. Absolutely not. It's a weird thing. It's you're just becoming vulnerable with yourself and learning to it helps. I can see why a lot of artists have egos, because Kanye West must love his voice. He must listen to it a lot.
You think he bumps that thing in his own house?
Well, probably, because the more and more I've listened to my voice, my self-esteem has gone up about certain things because I'm getting more comfortable with hearing myself.
Yeah.
Hearing the words that I've written down and singing super high. I think the most uncomfortable thing for me to do as an artist is sing in falsetto, which is the...
Better than I can do, man. Way better than...
Yeah, I don't know. Well, as a guy. But I don't know, man. Yeah, I lost my train of thought, but yeah.
Okay. So when did you... Is this process of getting better, getting over that, is it just you getting better as a singer, or did you just fake it till you make it,
Well, okay. My view on fake it till you make it is... I don't really think that is a thing. I think it's kind of unhealthy in some ways. For me, I slowly started to get better at my stages, stage performance, the more I did it. So it came through experience, it came through becoming more confident. And yeah, you have to fake it till you make it once you get up there, but if you're not enjoying yourself, you don't feel the emotion, maybe you're not meant to be a performer. Maybe you should try to do something else.
It's the hard truth, yeah.
Honestly, if you aren't anxious, then you don't care.
True.
Because if you go up to a show and you're not anxious, or you're just all cocky, it's just there's going to be no emotion. There's going to be no raw emotion. And that's what makes music amazing. It's when you go to see an artist and they sound exactly like their record, it's okay, I could have just sat at home and listened to that. What was the point?
Yeah.
But you go to see them, and then they have a more raw tone to them. They have more rough feel to them, and you can feel what they put on paper and what they put to music more. It's just, you feel more connected to the person. You feel more like a humanistic kind of trait. It's cool to see people that you idolize on stage, and all these musicians, to see how human they are.
Interesting. So is this vulnerability, is that something you always try to bring to all your performances? What you just did in the studio, is that something you really try to embody?
Well, yeah, I think about when I wrote the song, and then I think about the emotion, and I try to just remember that and think about where I was in that song, at the mind state, Grateful, the one I just played. Basically that one, I was just when I was going to write it, I was just I'm grateful for the girl that came into my life, and I just think of her the entire time, because before I met her, I was just hopeless. I was no, love isn't a thing. I am just going to write love songs and pretend that I actually care about someone, and
It just wasn't there?
No, I could write good songs, but it just didn't feel right. People liked them, but they didn't love them.
Oh, okay.
You can tell when someone's faking something. You can hear it in music, and you can hear it when artists change their style just to be more popular. It's it's better. Personally, this is a personal thing. I just like raw emotion. You can have raw emotion and have auto-tune over your voice, but it's just if it isn't real, then it's kind of almost robotic and dumb.
Okay. So you mentioned anxiousness when it comes to when you perform. How does that affect you and the way you try to express yourself Do you have any problems? Like,
Well, I'm incredibly shy. I'm actually kind of somewhat of an introvert. That's why, like...
Really?
Well, okay. I don't know if... Actually, no, people wouldn't know. So there's a camera in the studio right now, and I actually can't lock eyes with it because it kind of freaks me out to look straight into a camera. And it's like... it's like, I don't know, I just start to get uncomfortable. It's just, I don't know. I've always been a shy person, and I've always been kind of way too in check with my own emotions to the point where I overfeel them. So it was when I first started to get on stage and I felt like that anxiety, I would start to shake and my hands would shake and I couldn't play the guitar properly and you could hear it in my voice. But then when I started to focus on the emotion of the songs and how the songs helped me, I felt more passion. Like there's certain songs that I play like Ghosts or this other one that I haven't released called The Apartment where it's almost therapeutic. It just makes me feel better to play the song. Like I feel more relaxed, more myself.
That's super interesting.
Yeah.
I don't, the little bit of art that I dabble in, it honestly is therapeutic to me, but it's probably different. I imagine that's like all across the arts in general.
Yeah, like everybody
just
has...
the creative process.
Yeah, well, everybody has that thing that helps them. Like whether that be drinking too much or smoking too much, like bad ways, or like going to see a friend and going to play video games, or going to, listen to your favorite song, or go to see a live show to kind of forget about things. We grow through the media that we consume. And for me, like writing down my thoughts and figuring them out, I like figure myself out in the process. It's kind of like almost hippy-dippy. Some people, when I start talking about this, you're just like, oh, you're full of yourself. I'm just like, I don't know. I just helps me, man. So it's just like, I was like, I'm just going to record this and see if it helps anybody else. Because like a lot of my vulnerable songs, when I wrote them, I thought no one actually felt that way. And then I've shown people and they're like, this song's amazing. Or,
Yeah, I know you're gaining a lot of traction. You've recently released, or have been releasing, a couple music videos out on YouTube. Want to tell us about that?
Sure. One of the music videos... Okay, I'll tell you how it happened. So I wanted to record this one song called Ghost, because it was like the first song I had ever recorded. Okay. I'll take you through the timeline. little story. If you will partake, that's your choice. You can like zone out, go on your phone, whatever. But when I first started, I was on Facebook, and the first song that ever took off for me was the song called Ghost, which is literally about being ghosted by a girl. So it's like, modern problems. It's just like you text a girl and then she never shows up, and you're like, okay, well, I guess I mean nothing. So I wrote so I wrote a song about it, and then I posted it, and people loved it, and then I got better and better at singing, so I made a professional version, and then I was like, I wanted to make a video of it with people like dancing. And then I noticed that my friend Chris, who I went to middle school with, was really taking off when it came to like media and all that kind of stuff. Like he told me that he had done work for The Revenant, he had done work for Heartland, he's worked on like a lot of small projects, and he's a filmmaker himself, so I was like, might as well work with someone who's on my level. And then we made the music video, and I think on Facebook right now it has about almost 3,000 views, and then 600 on YouTube. But like YouTube's a hard platform. Facebook, it's easier because I can be like, Mom, share this 100 times.
Yeah. I feel like the YouTube algorithm is definitely...
Well, it's harder for people now.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Before, I felt like it used to be random, and you can get lucky and go viral.
It's changed quite a lot. Like, if you want to learn about the YouTube algorithm, it's kind of a weird thing, but look up MatPat. He, like, talks about it quite a lot. He's like the
theory guy.
Yeah. He talks about, like, game theories and all that kind of stuff, and, like, the algorithm has changed a lot to benefit YouTube because they're a company, but so they're gonna use it to benefit the people that are on top. And like one of the biggest problems on YouTube, this is kind of random, I know, because we were talking about me and then went on to this, but since we're on the topic, I'm gonna keep going. Basically, they would demonetize people's videos, which is how most creators made their money, and then a lot of people on YouTube fell off because of that, and it was called the adpocalypse. And it's been going on and off, and people have just been fighting with YouTube about it. But yeah, little it's not really history, but like a little tidbit, I guess, about YouTube and why it kind of sucks for a lot of people who are just starting out. Because not many people actually know that. But yeah, weird segue. But if you want to support me on YouTube, I can't believe I just said it.
Just plug.
I can't believe the way I said that. It was just like, it was like very jagged. Just look up Adam Ambrose and then look up Ghost. And if you find a video of a woman in red dancing or like a couple like embracing each other in like a dark scene, you found it.
That's it? That's the one. Okay.
Yeah. And then, got any more questions for me?
I think we're good,
Okay.
for right now.
Cool.
Thank you so much, Adam. It's been great to have you in the studio.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah. Dane here. You have any final words to say?
I just want to say, Adam, you are the legend.
You are the legend.
The legend.
I am a legend.
You are one of the legends. But right now, you are the legend of this room.
Oh, okay, I'll just act like Kanye and say I'm a god. I'm not gonna do that, but yeah.
I mean, it's been great to have you. Like, it's so refreshing to, like, instead of just play the music, it's great to have, like, that, interaction one-on-one with the guy who actually made the music and, like, his struggles and just, like, being really, really real.
Yeah, well, I love talking about my music and I love telling people about it because it's, like, what I love to do, man. I'm glad that I came on the show. It was fun.
Awesome. Well,
Cool.
Thank you. Okay, so now we're just going to switch over to some hits. This is Logic.
Pain don't hurt the same, I know. The lane I travel feels alone. But I'm moving till my legs give out. And I see my tears melt in the snow. But I don't wanna cry. I don't wanna cry anymore. I wanna feel alive.
through your sneakers, move both your feet and run to the beat. Come run, 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 everybody move, run. Let me see you move, run. Rock it to the groove, done. Shake it till the moon becomes the sun. Everybody in the club, give me a run, run. If you ready to move, say yeah. One time for your mind, say yeah, yeah. But I'm ready for you. Come, let me show you. You want to groove, I'ma show you how to move. Mr. DJ, song on your replay. Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up? All the y'all on the dance floor wanting some more. Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up? Come, Mr. DJ, song on your replay. Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up? All the y'all on the dance floor wanting some more. Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up? Hey, Mr. DJ, tell me if you hear me. Turn the music up right now. Hey, Mr. DJ, tell me if you hear me. Turn the music up right now. Okay, everybody get down if you feel me. Put your hands up to the ceiling. Everybody get down if you feel me. Come and put your hands up to the ceiling. Everybody get down if you feel me. Put your hands up to the ceiling. Everybody get down if you feel me. Come and put your hands up to the ceiling. Mr. DJ, song on your replay. Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up? All the y'all on the dance floor wanting some more. Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up? Mr. DJ, song on your replay. Hey, Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up? All the y'all on the dance floor wanting some more. Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up?
Welcome back, everyone. This is DM.
You're BF.
I'm DM.
And I'm BF. This stands for Dane McLean University Radio. Brendan Flasky. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry for that. We just had Adam Ambrose in the studio with us. He performed a live hit. We also had his MP3. If you guys want to check him out, look him up on YouTube. He has an Instagram handle as well. Great musician, really honest guy. We'll be back every single week.
Every Thursday with a new guest. We might bring back Adam Ambrose at some point. I think he deserves a little bit more attention.
Such a talented guy.
We probably could have talked to him for a lot longer, just because he's had such a storied last few years of his music career, just kind of like shooting up out of nowhere almost. Just like this personal story, like of a guy that just like came from the grassroots, and now he's slowly making his way. Obviously he's not there yet, but you can definitely tell he's an upcoming and rising star. He was recently nominated at the YYC Music Awards for I believe it's up and coming artist. So that was, I mean, that's not something that happens to every artist. Definitely not. That's a huge stepping stone towards I think what will end up being a very, very successful career. So we're happy to have him as our first guest. This is our inaugural show, and yeah, we'll be here until the end of the year, and we're hoping to get a little bit better each time in terms of our side. Not with the music. The music was great. We're talking about BF and DM. We're still. I think they get it. You think they get it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I have to make things clear, because.
Clear and consistent.
Yeah.
Just like us, Just like us.
When
it comes to radio, I mean, I don't want to brag, but I think we're number one, even though this is our first radio show.
We're close.
You think we're close?
We're close. We have some improvements, like
maybe two.
We need two. We need two headphones.
Two headphones? Yeah, we only have one headphones, and neither of us are wearing it. So
we could use a second mic. Right now, we're just huddling into each other like we're BFs, but we are.
I'm pretty sure
we're
from
best
the wrong
friends.
vantage angle, like this will look very suggestive.
Well, you are my BF,
Yeah, BF for life.
as in my.
And I DM you all the time.
Yeah. We DM on Snapchat sometimes.
Yeah, it's like, when am I not DMing you? I actually have my phone in my hand right now, and I'm just Snapchatting Dane.
Yeah, you should be focusing, but
I probably should. This is very important. Like, our radio show, we don't cut corners, okay?
no corners cut. Not even. Well, we cut that.
Not even
We
when
cut
we
a
do, like,
corner
a
by being unprepared, but
They don't have to know that.
they don't have to know that.
Dane was just kidding right then and there. Like, he was just joking.
I'm just joking.
Just
We were so prepared.
joshing
We
over here.
were more prepared than anyone's ever been. Like we had everything set up. We even brought in a few different catering services. So
Yeah, if anyone wants to stop by, we have pizza outside.
in my backpack.
In Dane's backpack, Little Caesars. It has that cardboard feel to it. If you're interested in that, some people are. You know, sometimes that's their thing. I'm not here to judge, just here to offer. So, Dane, you have any closing remarks?
Closing remarks. We still have 8 minutes left. It's gonna be a long closing remark.
I just know you like to talk.
I like to talk, especially when my best friend's here.
Okay.
You laugh like it's not true.
No, it's so true. It touches me. Like, I have tears of joy coming out of my eyes right now.
Yeah, I have sweat coming out of my glands right now. This is really nerve-wracking.
You can honestly find this. We will be posting a YouTube version of kind of a behind the scenes taken at the event. It's multimedia. Shout out to you, Karen, for the
Shout out to
solo.
Karen.
Shout out to Karen Owen, our professor.
KO.
Yo, the real KO. Knockout. Knockout of a professor.
She is.
Like, thank you.
Absolutely. Shout out.
Yeah. So maybe we can incorporate this. Keep an eye out for that. We will plug it in our next show. By then, it should be fully up and ready. Dane is a master behind the laptop, whatever he uses. I'm not exactly sure.
I am the master behind the laptop, and I will be uploading this video in the next few minutes
Next few minutes.
onto a service other than YouTube. It's actually called Media Player.
So what do you have envisioned for this radio show?
What do I have envisioned for?
Tell the people what
we
you want.
we want to bring local artists who might otherwise not have been on air yet. Potentially radio virgins, dare I say. We just want to make it like our first time. It's our first show, so we want to have people who it's also their first show being on radio. So it's not like
everyone has to lose it at some point, right? It's just inherent with it.
That's not what I meant. We just want to have, an opportunity to do something with our freedom here, like not just play the top 20 hits, actually bring some local artists who go to school here, who are connected to the campus here, and actually have them on air and have their names broadcasted out there, do our small part to get...
Yeah, maybe not top 20 hits, but maybe top 10 hits, but of the best local artists,
Exactly. We're going for that. We're going for a local MRU exclusive, not necessarily exclusive. We'll include anyone who's off campus too, but yeah, we're just wanting to definitely reach the local community here in Calgary and here in Mount Royal especially. That's what I'm going for.
That's great. You're an inspiration to us all, Dane.
Thank you.
Is this your idea?
I know. I think we shared this idea, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. I just wanted to see if you'd take credit for it.
We might have. I can't remember now.
No, you pitched it to me, and I thought, what a great idea, because I feel like, not everyone has a voice, and this can be the outlet for their voice,
True.
And
Absolutely.
it's just help us help them,
Help us help them.
It's giving back to the community, giving a name to these people who may not otherwise be heard, or even just reaching a broader audience. That's what I feel like we should really aim for.
Absolutely, and I feel like it's wonderful for us. We get to speak to incredible musicians who are talented, and it's incredibly fun just to be able to hear from them. Next week we'll have John Swan, actually a friend of Adam Ambrose's, on the show. He's mostly into, I would classify as hip hop and R&B, a little bit of experimental music. But he'll be on the show same time next week, and we'll be here the same full hour. We're trying to see if we can do a live performance with him as well. So I'm excited for next week, and every other week until December at least. We might be back in the New Year.
Yeah, no breaks.
No breaks.
No breaks till Brooklyn.
We'll be here on Christmas Day if we have to.
On Christmas Day. You hear that, people? Check us out on cmru.ca. We have a broadcasting Twitter where we will post constant updates. You can see a kind of behind-the-scenes exclusive of us performing with Adam Ambrose. If you're interested in that, we also have our bios, and check out all the other lovely, absolutely lovely radio hosts that we have on. And that is it for DMURBF. This has been Brendan Flasky.
And Dave McLean will have some Joy Division to play us out.
Something so good.